said, look, you guys are obviously heroes, and 9/11 was a big deal, but, we have a lot of stuff here to do. And, we got to make sure there's money for a variety of disasters, hurricanes and tornadoes. But this wasn't a hurricane, and this wasn't a tornado. And by the way, that's your job anyway. We can't fund these programs, you can. Setting aside that no American in this country should face financial ruin because of a health issue. Certainly 9/11 first responders shouldn't have to decide whether to live or to have a place to live.
This week, Breaking Through News is doing a series on remembering 9/11. Most Americans have vowed to never forget what happened on September 11th, 2001. Recently, late-night talk show host Jon Stewart testified during a House Judiciary Committee hearing on reauthorizing the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund. If the legislation is approved by President Donald Trump, it will allow the money from the fund to continue covering health care costs for 9/11 victims and first responders for life.
The idea that you can only give them 5 more years of the VCF because you're not quite sure what's going to happen 5 years from now, well, I can tell you, I'm pretty sure what's going to happen 5 years from now. More of these men and women are going to get sick, and they are going to die. And I am awfully tired of hearing that it's a 9/11 New York issue. Al-Qaeda didn't shout death to Tribeca. They attacked America, and these men and women, and their response to it is what brought our country back. It's what gave a reeling nation a solid foundation to stand back upon, to remind us of why this country is great, of why this country is worth fighting for, and you are ignoring them.
Most Americans vow to never forget 9/11 and the catastrophic toll it had on the U.S. 343 firefighters and 71 law enforcement officers were killed in the 9/11 attack in New York when terrorists flew 2 planes into the World Trade Center Twin Towers.
This isn't about me. This is about what happened on that day. Our department tried to do things right, and we learned from other events. We had done a lot of preparation for large-scale events.
Assistant Fire Chief retired John White is a 32-year veteran of the Arlington County Fire Department. White was among hundreds of firefighters and other first responders to arrive at the Pentagon after terrorists flew a Boeing 757 plane into the building.
We were very fortunate that no firefighter or paramedic was lost on the morning of September the 11th. Sadly, over the course of the years since, the same kind of illnesses and cancers and all the other stuff, PTSD, affected the responders on the morning of 9/11 at the Pentagon, just like it did in New York. New York was much larger in scope, but the same kind of effects, and I've lost colleagues, sadly, well before their time because of what they did that morning.
Terrorists attacked America using 4 planes, 2 of which crashed into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City, killing 2,977 people. 184 people were killed when a hijacked American Airlines Flight 77 slammed into the Pentagon. And a United Airlines Flight 93 crashed into a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, killing 40 passengers and crew members.
Number 56865. We have, I believe it is a Boeing 757. Can you see him up there, sir?
That's confirmed. It looks like he's rocking his wings.
Roger.
He's rocking back and forth.
Number 56865, I advise you stay away from that aircraft. Go north as fast as you can.
United 93, have you got information on that yet?
Yeah, he's down.
He's down?
Yes.
When did he land?
He did not land.
Oh, he's down?
Yes,
Down?
somewhere up northeast of Camp David.
According to the assistant fire chief, things moved swiftly because the first responders at the Pentagon had trained for similar events.
The only way we were going to be able to effectively deal with a situation of a similar nature was we all had to act together. And meetings and conferences and planning efforts and all that other stuff went into, and drills, year after year of planning just in case something similar would happen in the metro system or anywhere else, because the benefits transcend everything. That plan is what we put into place on the morning of September the 11th.
Thank God for
We will
people like
continue
John
White's
Field.
story
Thank God
and
for people
others
like
on the
Ray
response
Price.
to the
Thank
terrorist
God
attack of
always
9/11 throughout this
will
week.
not let it happen.
Elaine Ragley for Breaking Through News.
They responded in 5 seconds. They did their jobs with courage, grace, tenacity, humility. 18 years later, do yours. Thank you.